Most people get this wrong when choosing a digital wallet in Chile. They think any payment app will work the same everywhere. But here's the truth no one tells you. In Chile, the digital wallet you choose can directly impact how much you pay in fees, how fast you get refunds, and even how many discounts you unlock every month. And here's where it gets interesting. Some wallets in Chile are not just for payments. They are full financial tools that can help you manage money, earn rewards, split bills instantly, and even access credit or cashback without a traditional bank experience. So if you're living in Chile, traveling there, or just trying to understand how digital payments work in 2026, this guide will make everything simple. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the 10 best digital wallets in Chile, how they actually work in real life, which ones save you money, and which ones you should avoid depending on your needs. And stay with me, because in a minute I'll also show you which wallet is best for everyday use, which one gives the best cashback, and which one is quietly becoming the most powerful payment app in Chile without many people noticing yet. Let's start. Chile is one of the most digitally advanced countries in Latin America when it comes to banking and payments. Most people already use QR payments, instant transfers, and mobile banking as part of their daily life. But here's the problem. Not all digital wallets in Chile are created equal. Some are tied to banks, some are independent fintech apps, and some are designed mainly for retail rewards. So choosing the wrong one can mean missing discounts or paying unnecessary fees. Let's break down the best options one by one in a simple and practical way. The first and most widely used digital wallet in Chile is Mercado Pago. Mercado Pago is everywhere in Latin America, and Chile is no exception. It is deeply integrated with Mercado Libre, one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the region. Now here's why it matters. With Mercado Pago, you can pay in stores using QR codes, send money instantly, pay online, and even access microcredit options depending on your profile. For example, imagine someone like Alex in Santiago. He buys groceries, orders food online, and pays utility bills using the same app without switching platforms. That convenience is why Mercado Pago dominates. But here's the catch. While it is extremely convenient, some users report that certain features depend heavily on your transaction history, and limits can vary from person to person. Now let's move to the second major player in Chile's digital wallet ecosystem. The second wallet is Banco Estado Cuentarut App Data. This is not just a wallet. It is tied to one of the largest public banks in Chile. Now this is important because Cuentarut is widely used by almost every demographic in Chile. Salaries, government payments, and daily banking often go through this system. The mobile app allows transfers, payments, and balance checks instantly. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because it is government-backed, trust is extremely high. People rely on it for essential financial operations. But here's the limitation. Compared to fintech wallets, it is not very reward-focused. You will not get many cashback offers or promotions. So it is stable, but not necessarily exciting. Now let's move to a very important fintech competitor. The third wallet is MAC by BCI. MAC is one of the most popular fintech wallets in Chile, and it has grown rapidly in recent years. It offers a prepaid card, instant transfers, and a simple mobile experience. Now here's the interesting part. MAC is very popular among younger users because it feels modern and flexible compared to traditional banking apps. For example, someone like Jake in Valparaiso can load money into MAC and use it online or in physical stores without needing a traditional credit card. But here's the problem. Since it is prepaid based, some advanced banking features are limited compared to full bank accounts. Now let's talk about another strong player in the Chilean market. The fourth wallet is Tenpo. Tenpo is a digital bank and wallet hybrid that is gaining a lot of attention. It allows users to open an account completely online, manage money digitally, and often access rewards or cashback campaigns. Now here's where it gets interesting. Tenpo is pushing heavily into financial education and user-friendly banking experiences, which makes it attractive for first-time digital banking users. But here's the catch. Like many growing fintechs, coverage of services and promotions can vary depending on campaigns. Now, let's move to another important wallet in Chile. The fifth wallet is Banco de Chile, app.di. This is one of the most traditional banking apps, but it has been heavily upgraded in recent years to include modern digital wallet features. You can transfer money, pay bills, and use QR payments directly from the app. Now here's the key advantage. It is extremely stable and widely accepted across the country. But here's the downside. Compared to fintech apps, it feels more traditional and less reward-driven. Now let's continue. The sixth wallet is Santander Wallet Chile. Santander is a global bank, and its Chilean wallet reflects that international structure. It allows full banking access through mobile, including transfers, payments, and card management. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you already use Santander internationally, this wallet can integrate your financial life across countries. But here's the limitation. Like other traditional banks, rewards and cashback features are not as aggressive as fintech competitors. Now let's shift to a more flexible fintech solution. The seventh wallet is FPay. FPay is designed for fast digital payments and is often used in retail environments. It is simple, lightweight, and focused on speed. Now imagine someone like John in Santiago, who just wants to pay quickly in stores without opening a heavy banking app. FPay is perfect for that situation. But here's the problem. It is not a full financial ecosystem. It is mainly focused on payments, not savings or investments. Now let's move to a growing category in Chile. The eighth wallet is global fintech wallets like PayPal. Even though PayPal is not Chile-specific, it is widely used for international payments. Freelancers, online workers, and digital entrepreneurs in Chile often rely on PayPal to receive money from abroad. Now here's the catch. Conversion fees and withdrawal costs can be higher compared to local wallets. So it is powerful, but not always efficient for local spending. Now let's talk about a newer trend in Chilean fintech. The ninth wallet is crypto-friendly platforms like Bilo or similar regional apps. These wallets allow users to hold multiple currencies including crypto assets and sometimes foreign currencies. Now here's where it gets interesting. In countries with inflation concerns, multi-currency wallets are becoming more relevant. But here's the risk. Crypto volatility means your balance can fluctuate significantly. So it is more for advanced users than beginners. Finally, let's talk about a rising challenger. The 10th wallet is Clap. Clap is a newer payment solution focused on QR payments and merchant integrations. It is growing quickly in Chile's retail environment. Oh. Now here's the advantage. It is designed for speed and simplicity in stores. But here's the limitation. It is still expanding, so acceptance is not as universal as Mercado Pago or traditional banks. Now let's connect everything so it actually makes sense. If you want the most universal wallet in Chile, Mercado Pago is still the leader. If you want government-backed stability, Banco Estado is essential. If you want modern fintech flexibility, Maj and Tempo are strong options. If you want traditional banking reliability, Banco de Chile and Santander are solid. If you want fast payments, FPay and Clap are useful. If you want international payments, PayPal becomes important. And if you want crypto or multi-currency flexibility, newer fintech wallets are emerging as alternatives. Now here's the most important insight most people miss. The best strategy in Chile is not using just one wallet. It is combining two or three, based on your lifestyle. For example, someone like Alex might use Banco Estado for salary, Mercado Pago for daily spending, and Maj for online purchases. That combination gives stability, convenience, and flexibility all at once. Now let's quickly summarize. Digital wallets in Chile are no longer optional. They are the core of daily financial life. The wrong wallet can limit your savings and rewards. The right combination can help you spend smarter, transfer faster, and even unlock financial benefits you would otherwise miss. So here's the simple takeaway. Mercado Pago is best for everyday use. Banco Estado is best for stability. Maj and Tempo are best for modern fintech features. Banco de Chile and Santander are best for traditional banking. FPay and Clap are best for fast payments. PayPal is best for international income. And crypto wallets are best for advanced users. If you understand this structure, you already have a major advantage in how you manage money in Chile. Now I want to hear from you. Which digital wallet do you currently use in Chile? And what has your experience been like? Leave a comment below because your insight might help someone else choose better. And if you found this guide useful, like the video, subscribe for more country-by-country digital finance breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.